News 4 at 6, live with breaking news.
A bombshell from Mayor Megan Barry. She admits to an affair with the head of her security detail. Less than 24 hours after News 4 first reported he suddenly resigned. Now, her message to the city, quote, "God will forgive me, but the people of Nashville don't have to." Let's bring in our chief investigative reporter, Jeremy Finley, who first broke the news of this affair and, more importantly, the potential cost to taxpayers.
You know, Tom, that's exactly why we've been looking into this. So were taxpayer dollars used at all improperly as the mayor and her security director were conducting this affair? Talk about some intense last 2 hours. At 4 o'clock, we told you how Rob Forrest's wife raised the question to us that her husband had had an affair with the mayor of Nashville. By 5 o'clock, the mayor herself confirmed it, just as we obtained records that show the two traveled alone together 9 times in a 9-month period last year.
Today, I'm here to admit that I have personal failings. I am only human, and I didn't stop being a human when I became the mayor.
Did you think about resigning on it?
No. This is a very bad day, and I'm going to have several more bad days. But this is not my worst day.
The News 4 I-Team has been following the money tonight. Chief investigative reporter Jeremy Finley reports on how taxpayer dollars were spent on solo trips between the mayor and her bodyguard, and the stunning overtime pay he's earned on the detail since he took office.
Let's get right to your money. First, the trips. Records show more than $15,000 of taxpayer dollars were spent on 9 trips, where the two traveled alone during just 9 months in 2017, including Athens, Greece, San Francisco, New York, and D.C. Records show it was all work-related, and when asked if they had romantic relations on the clock,
No.
then there's his overtime. Sergeant Forrest made more than $119,000 in just overtime pay since Barry took office. The mayor says even if they weren't romantically involved, she would have needed security because of her busy schedule.
I would have had the security detail with me as part of my mayor responsibilities, regardless of who that person was.
The I-Team also crunched the numbers, and from 2015 to 2016, Forrest's overtime skyrocketed, going from $36,000 to $60,000. The mayor said tonight she welcomes any inquiry into the spending and travel.
We will give any records over to anybody that would like them, transparency in any investigation.
What you're about to see, we've been asking the mayor about all day with no response. We looked at the trips taken together by Mayor Barry and Sergeant Forrest, and public schedules show in some cases the two would stay on trips days after their business events ended on the taxpayers' dime. When Mayor Barry traveled last year to Greece, she stayed in avant-garde style at the Pallas Athena Hotel in Athens. And she wasn't alone. Her head of security, with whom she was having an affair, stayed there too. And her calendar shows even after the Democracy Forum she was attending, she and Forrest stayed on. Not 1 night, not 2 nights, but 3 nights, with nothing on her schedule. And the only event set for the forum that weekend? A film screening.
If you've already found this, then I say we better all start asking questions.
A lot of new developments today in the Mayor Barry sex scandal.
Yeah, the mayor's attorney confirms he gave the TBI the passcode to the mayor's personal cell phone. The TBI claimed yesterday she wouldn't provide it, and they needed it for their investigation. Also today, the mayor's attorney suggested DA Glenn Funk should step away from the investigation because of a conflict of interest.
A showdown today between two of the most powerful people in the city, with the head of the Tennessee Bar Association now weighing in. Councilman-at-Large John Cooper calls it a bullying tactic by the mayor.
To create a veiled threat about anybody doing their job is not helpful.
It all started unfolding yesterday in the mayor's statement last night about the warrant issued for her personal cell phone. Quote, "It is unclear who made the decision to pursue this course of action, though General Funk is the person directing the investigation." The mayor's personal attorney wrote directly to the district attorney, suggesting Funk has a conflict of interest in leading the investigation. The DA, like all heads of Metro offices, must go before the mayor to present his budget.
Actually, Glenn Funk raised this issue to my attorney last week. He was concerned about a potential conflict of interest. We took that very seriously when he said that, and we did our due diligence.
That due diligence? Get the head of the Tennessee Bar Association to weigh in a letter stating the entire DA's office should recuse itself. Cooper believes that letter is a threat.
What's a little exasperating was the pledge to cooperate fully with all the investigations. And now the second that you've got an investigation that you may not like, where it seems to be revealing, then you threaten the budget.
News 4, live with breaking news.
That breaking news this morning, Nashville's Mayor Megan Barry just minutes ago appeared in a Davidson County criminal court. Now, she pled guilty to felony theft of property over $10,000, and as part of a plea deal, she has agreed to pay restitution to the city of $11,000 and will serve 3 years of unsupervised probation.
Yeah, here's some footage here. All of this information just coming into the News 4 newsroom just moments ago. So it's the 3 years of unsupervised probation. This was part of a plea deal that she made in Davidson County Court this morning. Also, part of that is that she will announce her resignation. The mayor is expected to officially announce that resignation in a news conference that is scheduled to come up this morning at 10 o'clock.
Right now, we're going to listen in. She is taking the stage. Let's listen in.
Well, my time today as your mayor concludes. My unwavering love and sincere affection for this wonderful city and its great people will never come to an end. God bless this wonderful city. I love you, Nashville.
All right, you've been listening to words from Mayor Megan Barry as she officially resigned.
We were also there this morning when Mayor Barry and Sergeant Rob Forrest arrived at the Davidson County Jail this morning around 11 o'clock to get their mug shots taken. He has left. We were there with our cameras rolling for that. At last check, Mayor Barry is still at the Davidson County Jail being processed. She should be leaving within the next several minutes. They have both pleaded guilty, remember, to theft of property.
Mayor Barry just left booking moments ago. Here we are shooting through a chain link fence there as we see her smiling, walking down the stairs. She's ushered into that white SUV by security members with no time for questions.
The mayor's resignation is effective starting at 5 o'clock. She had roughly 18 months left in her term. As the News 4 I-Team's Alana Otler reports, her tenure began with promise, was shattered by heartbreak, and ended in scandal.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Megan Barry's legacy began before she even stepped foot in office.
From this day forward,
From this day forward,
as long as we both shall live.
as long as we both shall live.
Barry officiated the city's first same-sex marriage in 2015, cementing her identity as the progressive candidate in the mayoral race. 3 months later, she won the election and became Nashville's first female mayor.
This one is going to go down in the history books.
Barry assumed her role during a time of unprecedented growth in Music City, and her agenda reflected a push for even more development. Some of her biggest victories:
We are getting a Major League Soccer team.
helping Nashville clinch a professional soccer team,
Your first job is so important.
and developing a program known as Opportunity Now, creating jobs for teens to try to curb youth violence. Then, an unexpected tragedy. Last summer, her only son, Max, died from a drug overdose in Colorado. Barry spoke candidly of her son's struggles with addiction, even raising awareness about the drug epidemic nationwide.
This is not just an urban problem or a suburban problem or a rural problem. It's a community problem, and we need the federal government to help us.
But in the face of heartbreak, she vowed to stick to her agenda and perhaps her biggest promise, a plan for mass transit. Yet every issue she's championed came to a screeching halt on January 31st, when she held the now infamous news conference, announcing her affair with her former bodyguard, Rob Forrest. When Barry admitted to the affair, she said this.
This is a very bad day, and I'm going to have several more bad days.
A prediction that came true today.